Why did you have to wait till this time to do this?
Okay, let me make this thing very clear. I think so people, the public is actually getting this thing a little bit mixed up. There is nothing wrong with the system, with our system, or the result in our system. What happens was that is the version that the candidate has with her that she has mutilated. So it's practically impossible for us to know how many people are keeping such versions with them until when you come to the public space. And then news begin to make all around that, okay, you have this. That is when we'll now go back to our system to check whatever claim that you're laying. This particular candidate, that one very prominent Nigeria awarded her a scholarship to the tune of 3 million naira. And then I think Anambra State government were also trying to receive her and honor her also. So a call was placed to the board that the candidate, we had announced the highest scorer for the year 2023, which incidentally happens to also come from Anambra State. And when we got this information that somebody is laying claim to 362, we went into our system, search, and we discovered that this particular card, there was nobody with a score of 362. But what I did, because the Commissioner for Education in Anambra State actually called me, and I asked her to send the result to me. For every result that is printed from our system, it comes out with a QR code. The QR code is a security device on that result. So the first thing I did was to scan the QR code. So when I scanned the QR code on her result slip, the slip she's holding with 362, I discovered that QR code belongs to a candidate who sat the examination in 2021, one Omobolale, and that candidate scored 138 in 2021. And I became curious. So I went into the system with the name, with the registration number, because she put her registration number, she put the scores she obtained, and I would check in the system, and we discovered that she scored 249 and not 362. As a matter of fact, there is nothing, there is no score 362 in our own system. So we were not aware of this issue until when she brought it in the public space. Because what she did was just to have a slip, paper, for instance, and then she mutilated, maybe use graphic design to mutilate the scores, and then she was parading that score. So there is no way we will know that such a particular version of result is being circulated in the public space, as long as what we have on our system is not tampered with.
I still want to put back the same question to you in a different format. Now I want to ask you, in JAMB, do you have people who take care of your social media handles, Dr. Fabian?
Yes, we do.
Good. We do. If there are people who take care of JAMB's social media handles, I want to believe they ought to have seen this girl being celebrated and awarded scholarship by the Innocent Motors founder, Chief Innocent Chukuma. And at that point, you can actually find out what actually, do you have any score like that or not?
Well, you see a lot of people who come out with certain claims. And as a matter of fact, honestly, if you begin to run after each claim that this person say he has this, he has that, you will not do your primary responsibility. You will just be running after so many people. I told you, if you look at my release, you would have seen the issue that came up in Kaduna State, where a particular candidate claimed that he scored 380, only for us to discover that that candidate never even registered for the examination, not talk of sitting the examination. So there are so many people claiming whatever they want to claim out there. But this one became very important because we saw that she had a registration number, she has scores, she had a slip that she was parading. For somebody to just come out and say, I scored 300, I scored 400, well, that is your own thing. But by the time you begin to show a particular slip, carrying our logo and everything, it is at that point that will now become very, what is happening? But yes, we heard that somebody was claiming this and that, but we didn't see that particular result. And if we had moved that time without seeing that result, there is no way we would have actually gotten the kind of information that we have now. So even when we have some access to some of this information on social media, as you rightly say, we don't rush to the media to say this is what is there. We also do our investigation to find out how this thing happened. Because just as you rightly say in your opening statement, this girl is not alone in this particular act. In fact, some persons are even accusing us for coming to the public too early, that we should have done some undercover investigation to ensure that we arrest those people that are behind the whole thing. Given her age, they felt that there is no way she would have been able to sponsor this kind of coordinated fraud that she has done. But here you are saying that we came too late. Some are saying we came too early, because what they expect is that we should go deeper to find out who and who some of our collaborators, so that we can get to the root of what actually happened. If I tell you the level of investigation that we've conducted, we have the 55019, our USSD code. What we use that 55019 is to communicate with candidates, communicate during registration, we communicate during examination, we communicate during the release of result. Are you with me? So what this candidate, when I read the release by Innocent, where he said he made so many insinuation and all this thing, honestly, I just laugh, because what he's dealing with, this guy can sell him. Maybe he's waiting until when she sells him before he will know the gravity of what she has done. It's just that if I were with you, I would have shown you some of those things on the platform, what this girl did. Immediately these results were released, she checked her result. That is by she sent a message. Instead of sending result to 55019 to pull her result, she sent a message for UTME to 55019. But the message, the machine now sent her, because the phone number she's using is a unique identifier. So it sent her result. Result of 249, breaking it down to the various subjects. So she now doctored that result. That one is just a text message. It's very easy for you to doctor. So she doctored the result, put the marks the way she wants, up to 262, and sent back to 55019 and the USS court. So the court also returned her original result again. So if you look at the communication, in fact, this is anybody can invest. All you need to do is just to pick her phone number. I think she used an Airtel. Go to Airtel and then ask Airtel to give you the communication between this number and the USSD code, and they will give you, and you will see it. What I'm trying to say is that at each point she was sending requests to 5501, it kept returning her result of 249. I think almost like 4 times. She will send it back, it will return her original result. She will send it, it will return her original result. And then she now went outside the database to obtain that slip. But unfortunately, unfortunately for those people, her sponsors or her managers, they didn't know that there are security devices attached to each slip that they print. And the the QR code is one of them. There are about 17 of them, which I wouldn't want to mention some of them on the air. But the USSD code only, that alone can out, because anybody can scan. Even she herself can use her phone to scan the code. Immediately you scan the code, forget about whatever is written there. You will see the actual owner of that sheet, not what is imputed on it, the actual owner of the sheet. So it is the result sheet that she mutilated to write all those scores on it. Unfortunately for her, again, for the 2023 result, we didn't use that design that she's holding. If you have any candidate, your brother, your sister, your ward, any of your candidate that has written the 2023 exam, and you ask him to print his result, when you put it side by side, you will see the difference between what she's holding and what we are using for 2023.
All right, Dr. Fabian, now that you have discovered the case of Mmesoma Joy and the other candidates in Kaduna, so what are you going to do as an institution going forward?
The Kaduna issue, the person in Kaduna is not even a candidate. He didn't register for the exam. He didn't sit for the exam. It was just as you said, there are software. There's a software, I don't want to advertise it, that they use that software. You just have a slip, you print your result slip, you snap the result slip. Once you snap it, you now upload it on the software. Once you upload it on the software, it gives you the opportunity to change to whatever scores that you want. I think the designer of the software just wanted them to have some fun. You just, create something. I have 400 or 400. 390 and something like that. The person in Kaduna is not a candidate because he didn't register for JAMB. He didn't write JAMB, so he's not a candidate. So it's not easy for us to even trace who the person is. But we became interested when his ethnic group came online to the public space to say that, okay, their brother scored 380, a score that nobody has ever, if I'm not mistaken, obtained in JAMB, and that he was not celebrated and so. But she is a candidate. And to answer your question, of course, her 249 result is, as we speak, is withdrawn. She does not have a result, and she'll be banned from taking this exam in the next 3 years.
Experience similar type of manipulation, because I know before now Nigerians are used to exam practices like impersonation and the rest. Now, have you experienced this particular format before?
Well, last year, if you have been in the media, you would have read something about a lawyer who even sued us and was claiming 2 billion naira damages. And what happened? A candidate came up and alleged that he wrote JAMB, and the way he checked his result, he got them. I think he was claiming around 280 something or thereabout. Right? Okay, 310. Yes, he wrote JAMB. When he checked his result, he got 310. And then when he went to print the result, he saw 250 or thereabout. And the man went to court, sued us, came to JAMB with all those things. So we invited him to the board. We say, come, so that together we can investigate this thing. Very prominent lawyer, I think, in Enugu State, in some part of the Eastern country nation. And he came around and we began the investigation. The man was he came very firebrand lawyer, that kind of a thing and stuff like that. And what we have done using technology is that the unique identifier, the phone number, it will show you all the communication we've had with the candidate. You can also cross-check with the telco. We will show you our dashboard. If you're not satisfied, we can write to the telco that they should avail you all this data and all this information for you to check. Or you can even go on your own through freedom of information and whatever for you to check. And that candidate was even smarter than this particular candidate, because what he did was to save his sister's number. And then instead of putting her name, he put the name as 55019. So by the time he doctored his result, he will use his sister's number to send it to himself. So by the time the result land on his phone, you will see the 550. So you will now believe that this thing must have come from 55019. So at the point, we were also wondering what could have happened. And then all of a sudden, where he gave himself out was that on the number he saved as 55019, when we check his phone, we now saw a picture there. Of course, if we are sending something to you, that number is not supposed to have a picture. So we discovered that he just saved that number there. But when we check our communication with him on the telco, the number, we discovered that he checked his results 16 times. And all the 16 times, he was giving his actual result of 253 or thereabout. I don't have the actual number now. And the lawyer was embarrassed. He was totally embarrassed. He had to apologize to they withdraw the case. So we've had situations like this where candidate will go. In fact, there was a professor also who insisted that his son must read medicine. And when the boy could not score what would give him medicine, he went and his friend advised him, he mutilated the score and sent the slip to his father. And during the post-UTME, when he got to write his exam, what was shown against his name was less than what he was parading. And the furious, there was no name, he didn't call JAMB, he came around threatening, brainstorm and whatever. And in the course of his investigation, the boy had to confess that it was the pressure from the father. He wanted him to read medicine, and what he got, he knew that he was going to possibly, he had written down twice, and the father will not let him go to read what he wants to read, and it must be medicine. So when he couldn't get up to what we give him medicine, one of his friends advised him to do that and all this, not knowing that whatever you change out there on the sleeve, the database will still carry your actual results. So we've seen situations like that here and there and stuff like that. But you see, I keep telling people that, look, and not tamper with our results. It is practically impossible. And somebody said, even the American system, people can hack it and all this thing. You can only hack a system that is on the cloud. You have a laptop there in your studio. This thing you're holding, if it is not attached to internet, there is no way anybody can get access to it. We conduct our examination. After we finish the examination, the scripts are marked. The database where these results are kept is off the cloud. It is not connected to any internet. It is there. We only take a component of this result, we put it on the cloud for candidate to check, to assess it, to see their performance. And once we want to send to school, what we are sending to the school is what is in our system that is not in the cloud that we will take from there again and send to individual institution. So there's no way you can have access to it. So when people begin to parade this one, somebody say that he has experience, that a candidate came, he said that he scored this, later he saw it. I say, fine, please bring such experience. And I want to assure you, and I'm saying it here on air, if you have any candidate who claims that he had checked his result and he had something higher than what he saw later, bring the candidate. And if you are able to prove, if you cannot prove otherwise, on behalf of the board, we are going to give you 1 million naira to cover your cost of coming and everything.